and Tatamana Sasekalaki Klimtinat. I just wanted to follow the traditions of our people, let you know who I am. My traditional name is Xulsimalt, and I am the child of Sasekalak and Klimtinat, and I'm from Snuneymuxw. Doing an interview with Wanda Good, on the epidemic that we're going through right now, and the things that it triggers is it triggers many things, and I think one of the things that it triggers the history and how our colonizers kind of took over the land with the pandemic of smallpox, over 100 years ago, and how that devastated our people. There's so many triggers that go along with what we're going through right now. I think we're all kind of shocked that something like this has come along right now in our history. There's all kinds of triggers to our people, and the diseases that have crippled our people over 150 years now. And I'm thinking about diabetes now and all the negative percentages that we own. I'm thinking about the TB hospital here that was in Nanaimo for years, and all the different things that we've suffered through the suppression of our colonizers. And even when we trying to protect ourselves, and we live on a reservation because of the ally to our colonizer was a pandemic 150 years ago. It gave them the opportunity to grab our lands. And even when we're blocking our reserves so people can't come in, it triggers a time in our history when we weren't allowed to leave our reserves, trying to protect ourselves. And I was very sick for a while, and even though it was a really bad flu, all I could think about is am I coming down with this disease, and am I going to die? My wife was beside herself, and the triggering effect for me at that time, no doctors wanted to see you. Or do you have fainting spells? Do you have a fever? No. Then we don't even want you coming to our office. So it was very difficult for a three-week period. And the isolation is, I think that we all have this inherited suppressive history on where we come from. Even our grandchildren understand something happened, and we're still going through the stuff that pandemic created 150 years ago. Our colonizers were able to get us onto reserve. They were able to ban our oral history through the banning of culture, so we couldn't tell that history, and we didn't have a written history. So with the banning of culture, the banning of speaking our language, residential school, triggers all this stuff that when I think about this disease. And I think the success of our colonizers is so deeply rooted in the sense of how we're trying to fight back and bring culture back and bring language back. And I think in Snuneymuxw here now, our language is now extinct, and we're hoping that maybe we can start speaking our language, but it'll never be the way my mother and them spoke it. And I'm thinking about the culture, and thinking about that history and how it died, and how they had to try to bring it back, and how we fought amongst each other, and how it was supposed to go. Then of course they continue to add things to that, and in adding the forced political system, broke the system that we had before, and we go through all that stuff. And I think that I still have a fear right now on where this might go, because we haven't found anything that's readily available to say to us, we're going to be okay. We haven't got that feeling yet. But I know that the world can't stop, and that people need to go to work in order to produce the food that we eat and things like that. But I still have a healthy fear, probably more so than the bigger population because of the suppressive history that we come from. And there's nothing I can say to make my grandchildren feel better, because I do not have anything I can say to them that can say, oh, everything's going to be right, because I don't know. And that's my take on this. It's there's so many things connected to it, with a pandemic and where it was born with our people on this coast, and how it sort of brought us to our knees, and where we're always fighting politically still to this day from that pandemic 150 years ago. Other than that, I will leave you with that. And I know that we own the negative percentages of all these negative things. I say to our people that we are struggling to get back to where we were, and that we need to keep doing it. We need to keep helping each other out of this suppressive history, and we have to stay positive. We have to keep doing positive things, and reach our hand back to the ones that are suffering, and the ones that are doing well. We still need to look after each other. And I'll leave it at that, and leave it to my interviewer if she wants to ask me any questions. Ni hai in our language we say, I'm finished for now.
Right,